True happiness is found in the quiet moments, not in the need to announce it to the world. Keep your happiness close and watch how it transforms your life in silence. We live in a world where we're constantly encouraged to share everything with others, whether it's our achievements, our joys, or our successes. It often feels like we need to announce everything to the world. But what if I told you that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is keep your happiness to yourself? What if your joy could be more meaningful, more fulfilling, and more lasting if you didn't feel the need to share it with everyone around you? Keeping your mouth shut when you're happy might seem counterintuitive at first. It might even feel uncomfortable because we're taught to share the good things in life. But in truth, holding on to your happiness in those moments and savoring it for yourself can have a deep impact on your life. It helps you protect your peace, avoid unnecessary negativity, and build a stronger sense of self-reliance. Think about it for a moment. When was the last time you had a moment of pure joy, and instead of just enjoying it, you felt compelled to tell others about it? Did that moment feel as good after sharing it, or did it lose a bit of its shine? The truth is, sometimes the best way to enjoy your happiness is in silence. So in this video, we're going to explore why keeping your happiness private is one of the most powerful choices you can make. Stick around as we dive into why keeping your mouth shut when you're happy can actually help you grow, protect your peace, and make your joy more meaningful than ever. Number 1, protect your happiness by staying silent and enjoying the moment. Happiness is one of the most valuable things you will ever experience. It is personal. It is rare. And if you are not careful, it can be ruined before you even have the chance to enjoy it. Many people lose their happiness, not because of circumstances, but because they let the wrong people have access to it. They talk too soon. They share too much. And before they know it, what was once a moment of joy turns into something complicated, something questioned, something diminished. The best thing you can do for yourself is to stay silent when happiness finds you. Do not rush to tell the world. Do not look for approval. Do not seek validation. Just be present in the moment. Let yourself feel it fully before letting anyone else in, because the moment you open your mouth, you allow outside opinions to shape what was once pure and untouched. Not everyone will celebrate with you. Some will pretend to be happy for you, but deep down they will feel resentment. Others will find a way to turn your joy into a problem, making you feel guilty for experiencing something good. And some will make it their mission to bring negativity into your life, simply because they cannot stand to see you happy. This is why silence is power. It is protection. It keeps your happiness where it belongs, with you. Too often, people sabotage their own joy by announcing it too soon. They get excited, they feel good, and they assume the world will reflect that back to them. But what happens? Someone downplays it. Someone criticizes it. Someone makes a careless comment that plants doubt, and suddenly, what was once a moment of happiness turns into something uncertain. The excitement fades, the confidence weakens, the energy shifts, and all because they spoke when they should have stayed silent. Happiness is not something you need permission to feel. It does not need to be justified. It does not need to be explained. If you feel good, let that be enough. If something great happens, let yourself enjoy it fully before inviting others into the moment. Give yourself time to process it, to absorb it, to make it real within yourself. Because when happiness is real, it does not need an audience to exist. Some people share their happiness because they want reassurance. They want to hear someone say, "That's amazing," or "You deserve it." But if you need other people to confirm your happiness, then you are not truly happy. You are just borrowing their approval, and borrowed happiness is weak. It depends on the mood and mindset of others. It is easily taken away the moment someone refuses to give you the reaction you were hoping for. Think about the last time you shared something that made you happy. Did everyone respond the way you expected, or did some people make you feel like your excitement was misplaced? Did you walk away feeling just as good as before, or did you start questioning whether your happiness was valid? If you have ever experienced this, then you understand why silence is so important. When you protect your happiness, you give yourself the opportunity to fully experience it without outside interference. You get to feel it deeply. You get to embrace it without explanation. You get to enjoy it without the weight of other people's opinions. And most importantly, you keep it strong within you, so that no one can take it away. Staying silent does not mean you can never share your happiness. It simply means you choose when and how to do it. Some moments in life are meant to be private. Some victories are meant to be personal. Not every success needs to be broadcasted. Not every joyful experience needs an audience. When you learn to keep certain things to yourself, you will notice that your happiness lasts longer. It feels more genuine. It becomes something that is truly yours, not something that depends on the reactions of others. Many people make the mistake of thinking that happiness grows when it is shared. And while that can be true in the right circumstances, it is also true that happiness weakens when it is exposed to the wrong people. Some people will drain your joy without even realizing it. Some will take what was once simple and turn it into something complicated. Some will make you feel like you do not deserve what you have, and others will plant seeds of doubt in your mind, making you question whether you were ever happy in the first place. You must be mindful of who you allow into your happiness. Not everyone has your best interests at heart. Not everyone is capable of celebrating without comparison. And not everyone can handle seeing you thrive. This is not about being secretive. It is about being smart. It is about recognizing that some things are too valuable to be placed in the hands of those who may not treat them with care. When you experience happiness, take a moment to sit with it. Feel it fully. Enjoy it without distraction. Ask yourself if sharing it will add to your joy or take away from it. If there is any hesitation, if there is any doubt, then stay silent. Let your happiness be enough for you. Let it be something you own completely, without the need for outside confirmation. Because true happiness is not something you seek approval for. It is not something that needs to be displayed for the world to see. It is something that lives within you, strong and unshaken, regardless of who knows about it. Number 2, keep your victories private and let success build your confidence. Success is one of the most powerful forces in life. It changes how you see yourself. It shapes how you move through the world. It builds strength inside you that no one can take away, but only if you handle it the right way. Many people fail to protect their victories. They talk too soon. They share too much. And before they know it, what should have been a source of confidence becomes a target for doubt, negativity, and even envy. Keeping your victories private is not about hiding. It is about control. It is about protecting your progress from unnecessary interference. It is about giving yourself the space to grow without the weight of outside expectations. Because the moment you start announcing your wins, you invite opinions, you invite questions, you invite pressure. And suddenly, instead of focusing on the next step, you are managing other people's reactions. There is something powerful about knowing you are winning without needing the world to confirm it. When you keep your victories private, they belong to you. They are real, solid, and unshaken by what anyone else thinks. They do not depend on applause. They do not need validation. They are yours, and that makes them stronger. Too many people rush to share their success because they want recognition. They want others to see how far they have come. They want to prove something. But success is not about proving anything to anyone. It is about becoming better. It is about improving your life in ways that matter to you. And if your success depends on other people noticing, then it is not real success. It is just a performance. Confidence is built in private. It grows in moments when no one is watching. It is developed through the quiet discipline of doing the work, seeing results, and knowing within yourself that you are capable. It does not come from praise. It does not come from attention. It comes from the deep understanding that you have earned your progress, and nothing can take that away. Think about the last time you achieved something important. Did it feel better because people knew about it? Or did it feel better because you knew you had put in the effort? Real confidence is built in silence. It is built through private victories, through unseen discipline, through the quiet satisfaction of knowing you are growing stronger every day. When you keep your victories private, you give yourself time to fully experience them. You allow yourself to absorb the lessons, to feel the growth, to understand what worked and what did not. You do not waste energy explaining your success to people who may not even understand it. You do not risk exposing your progress to negativity, criticism, or jealousy. Instead, you protect your journey. You keep your focus. You stay in control. Some people will not want you to win. They may smile to your face, but inside they are uncomfortable with your progress. They may not say it directly, but their energy shifts. Their words become different. They start making comments that plant doubt. They start finding ways to make you question yourself. This is why keeping your victories private is so important. You do not need to invite unnecessary resistance into your life. It is not about being secretive. It is about being smart. It is about understanding that not everyone will clap for you. It is about recognizing that your success does not need an audience to be real. Some of the greatest progress you will ever make will happen behind closed doors. Some of the most valuable lessons you will ever learn will be personal, not public. And some of your biggest victories will be the ones no one ever knows about. The more you learn to keep your success to yourself, the stronger you become. You stop seeking approval. You stop needing recognition. You stop depending on external validation to feel good about your progress. Instead, you start trusting yourself. You start believing in your ability to grow, to improve, to win, whether anyone sees it or not. Success is not about how many people know you are winning. It is about how much progress you make when no one is watching. It is about how much stronger you become in silence. It is about how deeply you believe in yourself without needing anyone else to confirm it. When you keep your victories private, you eliminate distractions. You remove unnecessary pressure. You stop wasting time worrying about what others think. Instead, you stay focused on what really matters: your growth, your discipline, your progress. You allow yourself to move forward without the weight of outside expectations. And when the time is right, your success will speak for itself. You will not have to announce it. You will not have to prove anything. People will see it in the way you carry yourself. They will see it in your results. They will see it in the confidence you have built through quiet victories. Number 3, stay quiet about your joy and avoid unnecessary negativity around you. Happiness is a rare and powerful thing. It takes effort to build a life that brings real joy. It comes from growth, from progress, from doing the work to create something meaningful. But the world does not always respond to happiness the way you expect. Not everyone will celebrate with you. Not everyone will be happy that you are happy. That is why you must learn to protect your joy by keeping it to yourself. The moment you start sharing your happiness with the wrong people, you invite unnecessary negativity into your life. You may think others will be glad for you, but not everyone will be. Some will be indifferent. Some will be envious. Some will even try to bring you down without you realizing it. They may not say it outright, but their energy changes. Their words carry a different weight. They ask questions that make you doubt yourself. They remind you of problems that have nothing to do with your joy. Before you know it, what was once a moment of pure happiness starts feeling heavy. Negativity does not always come in obvious forms. It can be subtle. It can come from people who smile at you while secretly hoping you fail. It can come from those who pretend to support you, but take every chance to plant seeds of doubt in your mind. This is why staying quiet about your joy is not about hiding. It is about protecting. It is about making sure your happiness stays yours. When you share too much, you give others access to your emotions. You open the door for their opinions, their judgments, their negativity. Some people cannot handle seeing others happy because it reminds them of what they lack. Instead of being inspired, they feel resentment. Instead of supporting you, they want to pull you back down. And if you are not careful, their negativity will start affecting you. You do not owe anyone an explanation for your happiness. You do not need to prove that you are doing well. You do not have to justify why you feel good about your life. True joy does not need validation. It does not need approval. It is something you experience, something you live, something that belongs to you alone. There is power in silence. When you keep your happiness to yourself, you allow it to grow. You let it become stronger. You give yourself time to fully experience it without interference. You do not waste energy defending your joy. You do not risk letting outside negativity take it away. Instead, you hold on to it. You protect it. You let it fuel you. Think about the moments in your life when you felt truly happy. The times when you felt at peace. The times when you were proud of yourself. Did those moments become better when you shared them? Or did they sometimes lose their magic when others got involved? Did you ever feel like your joy was questioned? Did you ever feel like people did not react the way you expected? This is why it is so important to be selective with what you share. Not everyone deserves access to your happiness. The more you keep your joy to yourself, the more control you have over it. You are not waiting for others to approve of it. You are not letting their reactions shape how you feel. You are not depending on outside praise to make your happiness feel real. Instead, you are strengthening it from within. You are making sure it is built on something solid, your own growth, your own progress, your own understanding of what truly matters. People who talk too much about their happiness often invite unnecessary trouble. They attract attention they do not need. They give others a chance to question them, to challenge them, to make them doubt. But those who keep their joy private move differently. They are not seeking validation. They are not looking for applause. They are focused on living their happiness, not just announcing it. Your happiness should not be up for discussion. It should not be something that others get to judge. It should not be something you feel the need to explain. When you keep it private, you make sure it stays pure. You make sure it remains a source of strength, not stress. You make sure it continues to grow without outside interference. Negativity is everywhere. It comes in many forms. It comes from people who do not want to see you win. It comes from those who project their fears and insecurities onto you. It comes from those who cannot stand the thought of someone else being happier than them. The best way to avoid it is to not invite it in the first place. The less you share, the less room there is for negativity to enter. Joy is personal. It is something you create, something you nurture, something you protect. It is not something that needs to be displayed for approval. The more you guard it, the stronger it becomes. The more you hold on to it, the more power it has. The more you keep it private, the more you get to fully enjoy it. Number 4. Guard your peace by keeping your happiness away from envious people. Peace is something you must protect. It does not come easy. It takes years to build a life where you feel truly at ease, where you are free from stress, where you wake up without worry. But peace can be lost in an instant. It can be shaken by the wrong people, the wrong conversations, the wrong energy. That is why you must learn to guard your peace by keeping your happiness away from those who envy you. Not everyone wants to see you happy. That is a hard truth. Some people are not strong enough to celebrate your wins. They see your happiness as a reminder of their own struggles. Instead of feeling inspired, they feel threatened. Instead of being happy for you, they feel resentment. And when envy enters the picture, peace is the first thing to go. Have you ever noticed how certain people's energy changes when you share good news? Maybe their smile fades a little. Maybe their response feels forced. Maybe they change the subject or remind you of something negative. That is not an accident. That is envy. That is a reaction from someone who does not want to see you happier than they are. And if you are not careful, their energy will start affecting you when you share your happiness with envious people. You give them power over your emotions. You allow their reactions to shape how you feel. You invite their negativity into your space. And once that happens, peace becomes impossible. Because instead of fully enjoying your happiness, you start second-guessing it. You start wondering why they reacted the way they did. You start worrying about whether they will try to bring you down. Envy is dangerous. It can come from people you least expect. It can come from friends, from family, from people you have known for years. Just because someone is close to you does not mean they want the best for you. Some people will pretend to be on your side while secretly hoping you fail. They will act supportive while looking for ways to sabotage you. If you are not careful, you will find yourself surrounded by people who drain you instead of lifting you up. That is why guarding your peace is not just an option. It is a necessity. You must be selective about who gets access to your happiness. You must pay attention to how people react when you succeed. You must recognize when someone's energy shifts. And most importantly, you must have the discipline to keep your joy to yourself when necessary. You do not owe anyone a front row seat to your happiness. You do not have to prove to anyone that you are doing well. You do not need approval from people who secretly hope to see you struggle. The best way to protect your happiness is to keep it away from those who do not deserve to witness it. Some people will say you are being secretive. They will wonder why you do not share as much. They may even try to make you feel guilty for not including them. But understand this, protecting your peace is not about being rude. It is about making sure your happiness remains untouched by negative energy. It is about keeping your focus on what matters, instead of allowing distractions to pull you down. You have worked hard to create a life that brings you joy. You have sacrificed. You have struggled. You have overcome. Do not let the wrong people make you question what you have built. Do not allow their envy to take away what you have earned. Do not waste time explaining yourself to those who will never truly be happy for you. Pay attention to how you feel after spending time with certain people. Do you feel uplifted, or do you feel drained? Do you feel supported, or do you feel like you have to defend your happiness? The people in your life should add to your peace, not take away from it. If someone's presence makes you doubt yourself, they do not deserve access to your happiness. The strongest people in the world know the value of silence. They do not share everything with everyone. They do not let the wrong people into their personal victories. They understand that some things are best kept private, not because they are hiding, but because they are protecting. Your happiness is yours. It is not a performance. It is not something that needs to be put on display for approval. The more you keep it to yourself, the more power it has. The more you guard it, the stronger it becomes. The more you stay silent around envious people, the less control they have over your emotions. If someone is meant to celebrate with you, you will feel it. There will be no doubt. There will be no mixed signals. True supporters will uplift you. They will be genuinely happy for you. They will not feel the need to compete, to question, to challenge. They will not bring negativity into your space. They will celebrate with you without hesitation. Surround yourself with people who bring peace, not chaos. Spend time with those who uplift, not drain. Be mindful of who you let in. And most importantly, remember that you do not have to share everything with everyone. Your happiness is sacred. Keep it away from envious people, and you will always have peace. Number 5. Hold your excitement inside, and let your actions prove your success. Success is not about what you say. It is about what you do. It is not about announcing every step you take. It is about proving it through action. Too many people make the mistake of talking about their plans, their dreams, their victories before they have fully materialized. They share their excitement with the world before they have laid the foundation strong enough to support their success. And in doing so, they invite distractions, doubt, and unnecessary pressure into their lives. When you are working towards something meaningful, silence is your greatest ally. Holding your excitement inside does not mean you are not proud of yourself. It does not mean you are not confident in what you are building. It simply means you understand the power of discipline. It means you value results more than attention. It means you trust your ability to succeed without needing constant validation from others. The world does not need to know every move you make. It does not need to hear about your plans before they are executed. The more you talk about what you are going to do, the more energy you waste explaining instead of executing. And in the process, you leave room for distractions, opinions, criticism, envy, and even resistance from those who do not want to see you win. Think about the times you have shared your excitement too soon. Did everyone react with encouragement? Or did some people doubt you? Did they tell you it would be difficult? Did they remind you of past failures? Did they make you question your own ability? This is why silence is so powerful. When you keep your excitement inside, you protect your focus. You keep negativity out. You allow your success to grow without interference. Excitement is energy, and energy should be invested in action, not wasted on unnecessary words. Every moment spent talking about what you are going to do is a moment that could have been spent doing it. Every time you announce your next move, you give people the opportunity to influence your mindset. Some will be supportive, some will be indifferent, and some will try to discourage you. When you keep your excitement inside, you remain in full control of your own progress. Success is not proven by words. It is proven by consistency. It is not about saying you will succeed. It is about showing up every day and making sure you do. When you hold your excitement inside and focus on execution, your results speak for themselves. Your growth becomes undeniable. Your achievements become proof of your discipline. And most importantly, you build confidence, not from approval, but from knowing you put in the work. People who talk too much about their plans often find themselves stuck in the same place. They get caught up in the excitement of telling others what they are going to do instead of actually doing it. They get comfortable with the praise, with the validation, with the attention that comes from announcing their goals. But success does not come from talking. It comes from relentless action. It comes from moving forward without the need for applause. When you keep your excitement inside, you also give yourself the flexibility to adjust. Not every plan works the way you expect. Not every opportunity unfolds the way you imagined. When you have already announced your next move, changing direction becomes difficult. You feel the pressure of expectations. You feel the need to explain yourself. But when you stay silent, you remain free. You can pivot when necessary. You can make decisions based on logic, not on the fear of what others will think. Success is about execution, not explanation. The most powerful people in the world do not announce what they are going to do. They simply do it. They do not waste time seeking approval. They focus on making things happen. They let their results speak louder than their words ever could. You must develop that same mindset. When you feel excitement about your progress, let it fuel your next step. When you achieve a small victory, let it push you toward the next goal. Do not seek validation from others. Seek validation from your own work. Let your consistency, your growth, your accomplishments be the proof of your success. There will come a time when your results are undeniable. When people notice your progress without you having to say a word. When they see your transformation and wonder how you did it. That is the power of keeping your excitement inside. You do not have to prove anything to anyone. Your work, your discipline, your results, they do all the talking for you. Number 6. Keep your personal wins to yourself and stay focused on growth. In the pursuit of success, there is a tendency to want to share every victory, every small achievement with the world. It feels good to be recognized. It feels rewarding to get praise and acknowledgement from others. But let me tell you something. True growth happens when you focus on your journey, not the applause. True progress is built by staying focused on the bigger picture, not by reliving every step along the way. You have to learn to keep your wins to yourself and stay focused on your growth. This is not about hiding your progress from others. It's about understanding that the real victory is not in the recognition you receive, but in how much you grow and evolve as a person. When you share your wins too often, you run the risk of becoming distracted. You may begin to seek validation instead of seeking improvement. People around you may cheer you on in the moment, but eventually that applause fades, and you're left with nothing but the desire for more attention. Your attention becomes divided between external recognition and the internal work that's required to truly evolve. This is why you must learn to keep your victories to yourself. It's not about arrogance. It's about focus. It's about putting your energy into the things that will actually bring you closer to your long-term goals. Your personal wins are important, but the key to real success is not in the momentary celebration. If you get caught up in the excitement of your success, you risk losing sight of the fact that growth is a continuous process. Every time you stop to celebrate, you temporarily pause your progress. Now, that doesn't mean you should not appreciate your efforts or be proud of what you've accomplished. But don't let your pride stop you from moving forward. Don't let it distract you from the fact that there is always more to be done. The most successful people understand that the goal is not to constantly announce what they've achieved, but to focus on what's next. They understand that growth never stops. So they keep their wins to themselves and keep moving forward. Focusing on growth requires you to have discipline and to resist the urge to show off your wins. Think about the times when you've shared something you were proud of with others. In some cases, the reaction may have been supportive, but in other cases, it may have led to unnecessary comparisons or even envy. People who are not focused on their own growth may not understand your journey, and instead of celebrating your success with you, they might find reasons to downplay it or criticize it. This is where keeping your victories to yourself becomes essential. Not everyone will support you, and that's okay. What matters is that you stay focused on your own path, your own growth, and your own journey. When you focus on your growth and stop seeking approval from others, you give yourself the freedom to evolve without external pressures. You no longer rely on the opinions of others to define your worth. Your worth comes from within. Your growth becomes the only validation you need. You don't have to prove anything to anyone, because you're already proving it to yourself through your actions and your progress. This mindset is powerful. It keeps you focused on what truly matters, your own development. Keeping your personal wins to yourself also allows you to maintain a level of humility. Success is not about flaunting your achievements or showing off what you've accomplished. True success comes from consistent effort and continuous improvement. If you constantly talk about your wins, you risk becoming arrogant and detached from the hard work that actually got you there. By staying humble and focused on growth, you remain grounded and committed to what's next. The desire to share your victories with others often comes from a place of wanting to connect. But the real connection comes from your growth. The real connection comes when you continue to improve, push yourself, and achieve even greater things. People will begin to notice your consistency and your commitment to growth, and that will speak volumes. You won't need to announce your wins because your actions will show them. The work you put in and the results you achieve will do all the talking for you. Focus on building your future, not on recounting your past victories. If you continue to talk about what you've done, you limit yourself. You stop looking ahead and start looking back. And when you look back too much, you miss the opportunities that are right in front of you. There's always something more to learn, something more to achieve. The people who become truly successful are the ones who stay focused on the next goal, not on the last one. They understand that their journey is far from over, and they keep their personal wins to themselves to ensure they don't get distracted from their bigger purpose. Keeping your victories private doesn't mean you're ashamed of your achievements. It means you're wise enough to understand that the real work is done in silence. The real growth happens when no one is watching. The true satisfaction comes when you know that you have given your best, when you know that you've pushed through the challenges, and when you know that the work you're putting in today is going to pay off in the long run. That is where the true reward lies. When you keep your wins to yourself, you develop a deeper sense of self-worth. You stop relying on others to tell you that you're doing well. You start believing it for yourself. And when you have that confidence, you become unstoppable. Your growth becomes the measure of your success. You don't need anyone else to validate it because you already know you are on the right path. Number 7, stay humble in happiness and avoid attracting unwanted attention. When you find yourself experiencing happiness, it's easy to want to share it with the world. You feel good, you feel accomplished, and naturally you want to express that to others. However, the key to long-lasting fulfillment and true peace is staying humble in your happiness. There's something powerful about experiencing joy without the need to show off or attract attention to yourself. It's a sign of maturity, wisdom, and emotional strength. This is the kind of happiness that comes from within, and it's the kind of happiness that can't be easily taken away. There is a tendency, especially in today's social media-driven world, to announce every moment of joy, every accomplishment, and every success. But what happens when we do that? We open ourselves up to the judgment of others. We set ourselves up for the risk of jealousy or negative comments from people who may not understand our journey. The more you share your happiness with the world, the more attention you draw to yourself, and not always in the positive way you expect. Some will cheer you on, others will criticize, and some may even try to bring you down. This is why staying humble in your happiness is so important. It shields you from unnecessary negativity and gives you the freedom to experience your joy without external interference. When you choose to stay humble, you allow your happiness to be a personal experience. There's a quiet satisfaction in knowing that you are enjoying a moment of success or peace without needing the validation of others. Humility allows you to savor your accomplishments and your victories in a way that makes them even more meaningful. It's not about being silent out of insecurity or fear. It's about choosing to protect your peace. You don't need to tell everyone how happy you are, because true happiness doesn't need a spotlight to shine. One of the most powerful aspects of humility is that it protects you from envy. When you keep your happiness to yourself, you avoid attracting negative energy from others. People who haven't yet experienced what you've achieved, or who might be struggling with their own challenges, can sometimes feel threatened by your success. This can lead to resentment or criticism. But when you stay humble and keep your happiness private, you avoid adding fuel to the fire of negativity. You also show respect for others' journeys. You recognize that your happiness is yours alone, and you don't need to compare it or compete with anyone else's path. Happiness, when shared too openly, can also become fleeting. It can be tied to external factors, and when those external factors change, so does your happiness. But when you stay humble in your joy, you connect with it on a deeper level. It becomes a feeling that comes from within, not from the reactions or opinions of others. The true essence of happiness is found in how it makes you feel, not in how it is perceived by others. When you stay humble, you focus on what truly matters, your internal state of being. You let your joy be a reflection of your growth and your personal achievements, not a need to impress or prove anything to others. The act of staying humble also keeps you grounded. It's easy to get carried away with success, to let it inflate your ego or make you feel superior. But when you stay humble, you remain focused on the things that truly matter. You remember where you came from and how far you've come. Humility keeps you connected to the people around you, the ones who have supported you on your journey. It allows you to be kind, compassionate, and understanding, even when you are on top of the world. It ensures that you don't lose sight of the fact that happiness is not permanent. It ebbs and flows, and it's meant to be cherished and respected. Choosing to stay humble in your happiness also makes it easier to deal with setbacks. Success and happiness can often feel like a fragile thing. It's easy to think that when you experience a downfall or a challenge, your joy will disappear. But when you keep your happiness within, you are less likely to be swayed by external circumstances. You understand that your happiness is not dependent on whether things are going well or whether people are praising you. It's a steady force within you, something that no external event can take away. When you are humble in your joy, you are better equipped to handle life's ups and downs, because your peace comes from a place that no one can touch. Happiness that is shared too widely or too openly can also breed expectations. The moment you broadcast your happiness, you may start to feel like you have to keep up that image. You may feel pressured to always appear happy, to always be successful, or to always show off your victories. This creates a constant cycle of needing validation from others, which can eventually lead to burnout or dissatisfaction. But when you stay humble, you don't have to prove anything. Your happiness becomes your own, and you don't need to rely on anyone else's approval or applause to keep it alive. Being humble in your happiness also allows you to grow in a way that's sustainable. When you're not seeking validation from others, you're able to focus on your own self-improvement. You can pursue your goals and work towards your dreams without worrying about how others perceive you. The pursuit of success becomes less about showing off and more about self-discovery and personal development. You find joy in the process, not just the outcome. And when you enjoy the journey, the destination becomes even more fulfilling. Happiness can be a beautiful thing, but it becomes even more powerful when it is kept humble and private. By doing so, you protect your peace, avoid attracting unwanted attention, and stay grounded in your purpose. You experience joy for the right reasons, and you remain focused on what matters most: your personal growth. Humility gives you the ability to live a more fulfilling life, because it frees you from the need for external validation and keeps you rooted in your true self. When you keep your happiness humble and quiet, you make it last longer, you make it more meaningful, and you allow it to be a true reflection of who you are, not what others think of you. Number 8. Protect your joy by not sharing it with negative people. When you experience joy, it's a beautiful feeling. It's a reflection of something positive you've done, or something meaningful that's happened in your life. But while it's natural to want to share that joy with others, there are times when it's important to protect it by choosing carefully who you share it with. Negative people, those who are quick to criticize, judge, or put down, can drain the energy from your joy. They don't understand the value of your happiness and can often cloud it with their negativity. Protecting your joy means being selective about where you invest your emotional energy and with whom you share your most positive moments. Negative people have a way of casting doubt and spreading pessimism. Even if you're on top of the world, a single negative comment or a downbeat reaction can deflate your spirit. You might feel deflated, questioning whether you were right to be happy in the first place. This is why it's so crucial to keep your joy away from those who are quick to dismiss or belittle it. Instead of feeling inspired by your success, they may try to make you feel small or insecure, often out of jealousy or their inability to see beyond their own struggles. By not sharing your happiness with these people, you're protecting yourself from their emotional drag. Joy is a fragile thing, and it thrives in the right environment. When you share something positive with someone who consistently brings negativity into your life, it's like planting a beautiful flower in the wrong soil. It might start out fine, but over time, that negativity will affect its growth, and you'll find yourself questioning your joy. You'll begin to feel self-conscious, second-guessing your happiness, and eventually, you may even start to diminish your own joy just to avoid the uncomfortable feelings that negative people bring. The people around you have a significant influence on your emotions and mindset. The more you share your happiness with people who have a negative outlook on life, the more you expose yourself to their pessimistic energy. It's important to understand that your joy can only thrive in environments that nurture it, just as a plant needs sunlight and water. If the people around you constantly rain on your parade or dismiss your good news with sarcasm or criticism, your happiness will start to feel less fulfilling. It won't have the chance to grow because it's being overshadowed by negativity. Protecting your joy is about creating boundaries that support your mental and emotional well-being. Negative people have a tendency to bring up worst-case scenarios, focus on problems, and make everything seem harder than it really is. They might try to downplay your success or find fault with the way you're feeling. This kind of energy is toxic, and over time, it can erode the happiness you've worked hard to create. By choosing not to share your joy with these people, you safeguard your peace and allow your happiness to grow without outside interference. Another thing to consider is that not everyone has the capacity to celebrate your success. Some people may feel threatened by your happiness, especially if they're going through their own challenges. They might feel envious, and instead of celebrating with you, they may criticize or try to undermine your accomplishments. This is not your fault, but it's something you need to be aware of. People who are unable to celebrate your victories are often consumed with their own struggles and insecurities. They might not be in a place where they can share in your joy, and that's okay. You can still protect your happiness by recognizing that their reaction has more to do with them than with you. There's also the reality that negative people don't always want what's best for you. While they may be a part of your life, that doesn't mean they support your growth or your happiness. Some may secretly wish you would fail or struggle, not because they want to see you unhappy, but because they are too afraid or too consumed by their own fears to allow themselves to be happy for you. These people may be quick to find flaws in your success, minimizing your achievements, and making you feel like you didn't deserve your happiness in the first place. This is why it's important to be discerning about who you share your joy with. Protecting your happiness from people who can't celebrate it with you allows you to keep your sense of self intact. In addition, when you share your joy with negative people, it can become exhausting. Constantly having to defend or justify your happiness to others is draining. It takes away from the pure experience of your success or happiness. Instead of enjoying your accomplishment, you're left trying to explain why it matters, why you deserve it, or why you're so happy. This can cause you to start doubting yourself, and your happiness becomes secondary to the need for validation. Protecting your joy means you don't have to justify your happiness to anyone. It's yours, and it's valid, no matter what others think. Another key point in protecting your joy is learning to be self-sufficient in your happiness. Relying too much on others for validation or recognition can be a slippery slope. When you share your joy with someone who has a negative perspective, and they respond with indifference or criticism, it can feel like your happiness isn't enough. But when you learn to keep your happiness to yourself, you become more grounded in your own sense of self-worth. Your joy no longer depends on how others react to it. It becomes a deep internal part of who you are. This type of happiness is not fragile, it's resilient, and no one can take it away from you. The more you protect your joy by not sharing it with negative people, the more empowered you become in your own emotional journey. You start to understand that your happiness doesn't need anyone's approval. You don't have to ask for permission to feel good or to celebrate your victories. And when you stop seeking validation from people who can't give it to you, you stop wasting energy on toxic relationships that drain you. You create space for people who genuinely want to share in your joy, people who support your growth, people who want to see you succeed because they believe in you and your potential. In the end, protecting your joy is about respecting yourself enough to preserve the best parts of who you are. Your happiness is an invaluable part of your life, and it deserves to be nurtured and safeguarded. By being mindful of who you share it with, you create an environment where your joy can flourish. You ensure that nothing can diminish or disrupt the peace you've created. Your happiness is yours, and you have every right to protect it from negativity. Number 9. Keep your success silent and let others notice your progress. Success is often most powerful when it speaks for itself. The temptation to announce every achievement is natural, But the true strength of your progress lies in letting your actions speak louder than your words. When you keep your success silent, you allow your hard work, dedication, and commitment to become apparent to those around you. This approach doesn't require you to boast or draw attention to yourself. It simply allows you to focus on what's important, the steady, consistent progress that leads to real growth. When you're focused on your success, the journey becomes more meaningful. Every step you take should be rooted in the desire to become better, not in the need for validation or praise. By keeping your success silent, you create space to focus on the work that matters. You remove distractions from seeking recognition, and you prioritize progress over approval. This focus is what keeps you moving forward even when challenges arise. If you're constantly looking for affirmation, you'll lose sight of the bigger picture. But when you stay quiet about your success, you're working for your own growth, and that internal drive is far more powerful than any external praise. One of the most impactful aspects of keeping your success silent is that it gives you room to refine and improve yourself. The less you focus on announcing your victories, the more energy you have to perfect your craft. When you talk too much about your accomplishments, you risk becoming distracted from the next step. It's easy to get comfortable once you've reached a goal, but true growth comes from the continuous pursuit of improvement. By staying humble and quiet about your success, you open the door for even greater opportunities. You keep your focus on the next challenge instead of dwelling on past achievements. Moreover, allowing your success to unfold naturally enables others to notice your progress without any need for you to point it out. People will see the fruits of your labor and recognize the effort behind your achievements. Your consistency, discipline, and results will draw attention to themselves. When your success speaks for itself, it has a lasting impact. Instead of being the one to announce it, others will take note of your growth and be inspired by your journey. This approach also prevents you from coming across as boastful or arrogant. People respect quiet confidence much more than loud claims of success. Keeping your success silent also helps you maintain a sense of mystery and intrigue. People will wonder how you're achieving your goals and what drives your success. This intrigue creates a sense of respect because it's clear that you're not seeking attention. You're focused on your mission. The moment you start talking about your success too much, people may start to expect it, and they might lose the element of surprise. But when you keep your success to yourself, you allow people to be impressed by what you do, not just by what you say. Let them notice the results, and let the results speak louder than your words ever could. Additionally, by keeping your success silent, you prevent yourself from getting caught up in unnecessary comparisons. In today's world, it's easy to fall into the trap of measuring your success against others. Social media, for example, often amplifies this urge to compete and compare. When you keep your victories private, you avoid these distractions. You stop worrying about how your success stacks up against someone else's and start focusing entirely on your personal growth. The more you keep to yourself, the less you'll be tempted to look around and compare. Your progress becomes about your own journey, not about being better than anyone else. The power of keeping your success silent lies in the trust you build with yourself. When you're not constantly seeking validation or approval, you develop a stronger belief in your ability to succeed. You begin to recognize that your worth isn't defined by others' opinions of you. It's defined by your actions, your mindset, and your commitment to your own progress. By staying silent about your victories, you empower yourself to continue pushing forward, regardless of external circumstances. You no longer need to prove anything to anyone. The proof is in your actions, and the results speak for themselves. People who are constantly talking about their success often risk alienating others. It can create feelings of resentment or jealousy in those who are struggling or who may not have the same level of achievement. By keeping your success to yourself, you create a space where others can feel inspired by your journey without feeling overshadowed by it. There's no need to brag about what you've done. Your work and results will naturally inspire others to follow suit. When you're humble about your success, you create an environment where people can celebrate your progress alongside you without feeling threatened by it. Another powerful reason to keep your success silent is that it builds anticipation. People are more likely to be genuinely impressed by your achievements if they've watched you silently work toward them. It's not about showing off. It's about allowing others to see your hard work pay off over time. This creates a level of admiration and respect that doesn't come from you telling them how successful you are, but from them witnessing your success unfold. Your consistency, dedication, and results will leave a lasting impression. and people will remember how you achieved your success, not just the fact that you succeeded. When you let others notice your success, you give them the space to form their own conclusions about your character and work ethic. There's a sense of authenticity in allowing others to recognize your progress without you forcing it upon them. It removes any pressure or expectation. People will admire you more for your ability to let your results speak for themselves. They'll see you as someone who doesn't need to brag or show off. They'll see you as someone who is quietly confident and focused on long-term growth. This quiet confidence can also lead to more genuine connections with others. When you don't seek attention for your success, you attract people who are genuinely interested in your journey. You build relationships with individuals who value your character, your actions, and the way you show up in the world. By letting your success remain private, you attract people who are focused on meaningful connections rather than superficial ones. Number 10, stay private about your happiness and enjoy it without interruptions. In the fast-paced world we live in, it's easy to let external noise interrupt our moments of joy. We often seek validation or approval from others, sharing our happiness in hopes that someone will celebrate with us. But sometimes, the most powerful and fulfilling way to experience happiness is to keep it to yourself, allowing it to blossom undisturbed by others' opinions. Staying private about your happiness and enjoying it without interruptions is not about hiding your joy. It's about giving yourself the space to truly savor it without external pressures. The beauty of happiness is that it is a personal experience, one that is best appreciated when it's free from outside influence. When you allow your happiness to remain private, you free yourself from the expectations of others. You stop worrying about how others will perceive your joy, and instead you focus on the feeling it brings you. Happiness can often become diluted or even diminished when we share it prematurely, before we've fully embraced and appreciated it. By keeping your happiness to yourself, you allow it to develop into something deeper and more meaningful. It becomes an internal experience, one that you control. In a world where everyone is eager to share their life on social media, it's important to remember that not every happy moment needs to be announced to the world. There's power in enjoying your happiness quietly. Not every good thing in your life requires validation from others. Sometimes, simply enjoying the present moment, free from the pressure of external expectations, is enough. When you keep your happiness private, you're giving yourself permission to truly enjoy it. You don't need anyone else's approval or acknowledgement to feel that joy. The more you do this, the more you learn to appreciate your happiness for what it is, not for how others perceive it. There's also a certain peace that comes from not feeling the need to share your happiness. It allows you to savor the feeling in its purest form. When you're constantly seeking others to celebrate with you or to share your joy, it can create a subtle form of anxiety. You're not fully present in the moment because you're already thinking about how to express it or what others might think. Keeping your happiness private removes that pressure. You can just be, without the need for validation, without the need to prove anything to anyone. This freedom allows your happiness to grow organically, untainted by outside interference. Staying private about your happiness also teaches you the value of self-sufficiency. You learn to rely on yourself to bring joy into your life, rather than depending on others to validate it. When your happiness is not contingent on anyone else's approval or reaction, you realize that you are in control of your own emotional well-being. This independence builds a strong foundation for long-lasting happiness. You become more resilient because your joy doesn't depend on external sources. It comes from within. No one can take away the happiness that you've cultivated for yourself. The moment you choose to keep your happiness private, you stop measuring it against others. We often make the mistake of comparing our joy to others, thinking that our happiness is only valid if it aligns with what others consider joyful or successful. But the truth is, happiness is a deeply personal thing, and no two people experience it in the same way. By keeping your happiness private, you release yourself from this comparison trap. You no longer feel the need to compete with others for joy. You simply enjoy your happiness on your own terms. This shift in mindset allows you to experience deeper satisfaction and fulfillment in your life. When you keep your happiness private, you're also protecting it from potential negativity. There are always people around us who may not understand or appreciate our joy. Some people are unable to experience happiness themselves, and as a result, may try to dampen the happiness of others. By keeping your happiness to yourself, you minimize the chances of inviting negative energy into your life. You protect the purity of your joy, preserving it for yourself without interference. This creates a healthier and more sustainable form of happiness, one that is not easily shaken by others' opinions or actions. Moreover, keeping your happiness private allows you to focus on what truly matters to you. It enables you to spend time reflecting on what makes you happy and why it brings you joy. By not seeking approval or praise from others, you learn to prioritize your inner fulfillment. This strengthens your sense of self-worth and deepens your connection with yourself. You become more attuned to your own desires, needs, and values, which is essential for personal growth. In a society that often encourages us to seek external validation, learning to keep your happiness private can be an act of self-care. There is also a certain beauty in the way quiet happiness influences others. When you keep your joy to yourself, you naturally draw people to you without trying. Your peace and contentment become a beacon for others, inspiring them to find their own happiness. The power of silent joy is that it creates a ripple effect. You don't have to talk about your happiness for others to see it. The more you enjoy your happiness in solitude, the more others will notice the calmness and peace it radiates. This kind of joy speaks volumes and leaves a lasting impression on those around you. Additionally, keeping your happiness private strengthens your ability to handle challenges. When your joy is not tied to the approval or acknowledgement of others, it becomes more resilient. Life can throw curveballs, but when your happiness is rooted in your ability to find contentment within, you become less affected by external circumstances. Your joy doesn't rely on things going perfectly. It's steady and constant, regardless of the ups and downs. This creates a strong emotional foundation that allows you to navigate life with grace, confidence, and resilience. In times of adversity, when things aren't going as planned, keeping your happiness private helps you maintain a sense of inner peace. You're not as likely to be swayed by the opinions or judgments of others. Your happiness becomes your sanctuary, something that no one can touch or take away from you. In this way, it serves as a source of strength during difficult times. The ability to keep your happiness private allows you to preserve your peace and joy, even when external circumstances seem challenging. Lastly, by keeping your happiness private, you give others the space to focus on their own joy. Everyone is on their own journey, and sometimes when we share too much of our happiness, it can unintentionally place pressure on others. Not everyone is in a place where they can openly celebrate or acknowledge your joy. By keeping your happiness private, you allow others to experience their own emotions without comparison or feeling left behind. This creates an environment of mutual respect and understanding, where everyone is free to explore their own sources of happiness without feeling burdened by someone else's.